Preparation for the FAA knowledge exam. Let's review some of the possible questions pertaining to airspace. It's a large section of the exam, many questions on this possible, and so we really want to pay special attention to that. The FAA is very concerned about airspace, rightfully so. Remember, of course, as you're taking the test, you will have that testing supplement, and there's a page there that gives you the index, or the legend rather, of the sectional chart. So some of this stuff you can refer to that. But you don't really want to wait until you show up for the test to try to figure out where this information is. So you need to look, you should have a copy of it. I provided copies to everybody. You should have a copy of the testing supplement. Just look through it, make sure you understand all of the diagrams and all of the stuff that's in the, if you don't understand it, you need to, either research it or come to me and ask me about it. So you should be able to thoroughly understand the testing supplement so that when it comes time to the test, you don't have to scratch your head and worry about that. The only thing you want to worry about is answering the questions. So anyway, of course, you can download your own. If you don't happen to have a testing supplement, you can go to the FAA site and you get one, an updated one. In fact, it might be more updated than the one I've got. The one I provided for you only has the sections pertaining to UAV, but that's okay. It's a general testing supplement for private pilots as well. So there are some stuff in that testing supplement that I didn't include in your copy that I provided that would be important for all pilots. Okay, so even if you have the testing supplement, there are certain things you need to know ahead of time about airspace. You can't just rely on that. That's a good help, maybe prompt your memory, but other things you already need to know. So I'm going to run through some questions. You pull out your supplement, pause the video now if you need to, get your supplement in your hand, then I'm going to state a question. You're going to look it up, and then we're going to discuss it. So the first question I want to talk about, man, this just should be right off the top of your head. The question is, what is true concerning the blue and magenta colors used to depict airports on a sectional aeronautical chart? Well, the blue is controlled, has a control tower, and the magenta is pilot controlled, or no control tower. That should come right up, should pop right into your mind. That is the correct answer. Airports having control towers are shown in blue, all others in magenta. Okay, so you don't really need to pause on that. You don't really look it up. That should just come right up in your mind. Okay, the next question, and find figure 25, area number 4, and this is the question. What is the base of Class B airspace over Hicks Airport? So you find figure 25, area 4, and look for Hicks Airport and find out what the bottom of Class B airspace is there. Okay, so pause the video, try to come up with an answer on that one. The clue here, figure 25, area 4. One big clue is sectional charts. When they talk about airspace, they're going to be in mean sea level. So if you look at the 3 different answers, one of them is 3,000 feet AGL, another one's 4,000 feet AGL, and another one's 4,000 feet MSL. Well, you can eliminate the first 2. It's 4,000 MSL. That's Class B airspace directly over Hicks Airport is 4,000 feet MSL. So that's a pretty simple one there, because by a process of elimination. And the second question we have is, you've been hired to inspect a farm 3 miles west of Hilton Head Airport. In what type of airspace will you be operating? So find figure 23, then find Hilton Head Airport, and find the farm that's 3 miles west of Hilton Head Airport, just a little bit to the west of Hilton Head Airport. And they're asking what kind of airspace that is. Just pause the video and find that out, and then I'll come back and give you the test answer. The test answer is Class C airspace from the surface up to 4,100 feet MSL. That's the 41/SFC surface, the 4,100 feet. As shown by the solid magenta line encompassing the airport. The surface area Class C extends 5 miles out from the center of the airport. And you could have found that out by the legend, yes, but it would be nice if you just knew that right off the bat. So Class C airspace, for that question, refer to Figure 23. You have been hired to inspect a farm 3 miles west of Hilton Airport. What type of airspace will you be operating? It's Class C. Why? Because of a solid magenta line that goes around the airport. Okay. The next question. According to 14 CFR 107, how may the remote pilot or remote PIC operate an unmanned aircraft in Class C airspace? That's an easy one too, right? If you're going to be in controlled airspace, you need to get permission from the from the controlling agency, which would be ATC authorization. Let's see, next one would be refer to Figure 26, Area 5. So pull out the chart there. If you need to pause the video, that's fine, pause it. Question continues. Refer to Figure 25, Area 5. The airspace overlying and within 5 miles of Barnes County Airport is, you need to obviously find Barnes County, look it over. The answer, Barnes County Airport, is depicted inside the magenta shading, which is controlled airspace from 700 feet AGL up to but not including 18,000 feet. Therefore, the airspace below 700 feet AGL is Class G. Okay. All right, next question. Refer to Figure 78. What airspace is Onawa, Iowa, K36 located? So Figure 76. Find Onawa about 2/3 of the way down the Figure 78. And you'll find that it's not within a shaded area, so it's Class G airspace up to 1,200 feet above ground level. That's another one that you could probably, although this one's a tricky one because it's out west or Midwest, and it's hard to tell whether it's inside or outside of a shaded magenta area. But it's outside of a shaded magenta area, so it's the 1,200 feet. Let's see, next one would be Figure 25, Area 2. The airspace directly overflying Addison Airport this is tricky. Figure 25 is a tricky figure because it's just so congested. There's so much stuff there to look at. But pull it out. Figure 25, Area 2, turn it so it's upside up, it's sideways on my picture there. So, and then find Addison Airport. Pause the video if you need to take a little time. But while I continue, you can again refer to the legend if you need to, but Class D airspace is depicted within the dashed blue circle. The ceiling defined by the number in the brackets. Remember the brackets? The top of it will be 3,000. So the answer is up to but not including 3,000 if it had a minus. But this one doesn't have a minus, so it's up to 3,000 feet. Airspace directly over Addison Airport is Class D because it has a dashed blue circle, and then it's not asking you the ceiling, but that is the ceiling, the 3,000. Okay. All right. The next one is turn to Figure 22, Area 2. And the question is, well, pause the video if you need to. If you got it, at Coeur d'Alene, which frequency should be used as a common traffic advisory frequency, or CTAF, to monitor airport traffic? When you're flying your drone and you want to listen to see where the traffic, or hear if there's any traffic in the area. All right, try to answer that question on your own. But if you're not sure, again, you could refer to the legend. It might be helpful, but common traffic advisory frequency is CTAF. Sometimes it says right on the chart CTAF, or sometimes it have a little circle with a C inside of it. That's the frequency for airport advisory while there's no control tower for pilots just to inform each other where they are. Okay, so it's 122.8, by the way. It has a little C in it, or it has the number of the letter CTAF. That just simply means that there's control or common traffic advisory frequency. Okay. Another one would be turn to figure 52. And while you're doing that, you can pause if you need to, but the question asks you, on what frequency can you expect to monitor air traffic in and around Lincoln Airport? Find Lincoln Airport. All right, and again, that's a common traffic advisory frequency question. It lists, that particular airport lists several numbers, and they may all be in the answers. But in this case, 118.5 is the tower frequency, and when the tower is closed, it's the CTAF, or Common Traffic Advisory number. And again, that's a C. All right, let's turn to figure number 71, area 6. And pause the video if necessary. Skyway Airport is. So find Skyway Airport. And the question is asking what kind of airport it is. Is it a commercial airport? Is it a public airport? Is it a military airport? No, it's PVT, which is a private airport. It's restricted, and it's a non-public airport. It's a non-public airport is the answer. Final question is a review for you all. Referring to figure 22 again, area 1, and it's a general operational question about airspace. You've been, pause if you need to, but the question goes like this. You've been contacted or contracted to photograph Lake Pend Oriel from a vantage point just east of Cocadella. So find that, and then the question continues. You notice there's a hill which should provide you a good place to take panoramic photographs. What's the maximum altitude, MSL, that you are authorized to fly over the hill? So this is a question to ask you if you know the difference between above ground level and MSL, mean sea level. So now you're looking at the chart to find out the top of the hill. How high is the top of the hill? It's generally, those numbers are going to be listed in MSL, and the hill has a height of 4,960 feet MSL. Therefore, you add 400 feet to that. Duh, right? But this is typical of the FAA. They're asking questions to not for you to memorize a bunch of facts, but you will think about it and go, okay, what are they asking here? And this is one of the questions that will catch you up if you just make too many assumptions too quickly, because we've talked over and over again, when we talk about towers, you want the little number in brackets that has the above ground level thing. And we've said that over and over again. We don't really care much about mean sea level, but here we have a question specifically about mean sea level. Do we understand as pilots what mean sea level is? Well, it's the altitude of a point on the Earth that's that far above sea level, average sea level. And so we can fly 400 feet above the ground, so that's one way we could do this. We could talk about finding a point at mean sea level and then adding 400 feet to it. So, but anyway, the answer to the question, let me read the question again. Refer to figure 22, area 1. You've been contracted to photograph Lake Bend Oriel from a vantage point just east of Cocadilla. You notice there's a hill that should provide a good place to take panoramic photographs. What's the maximum altitude, MSL, that you are authorized to fly over the hill? The answer would be 5,360 feet MSL. And just as a note, that the floor of airspace in this case would be Class E. That's listed in above ground level, not MSL, so that's not a factor in the answer of the question. All right, anyway, hey, let me know if you got more questions or some of this stuff is confusing to you. We can discuss it some more.